Today's story is a reminder that no matter where life takes you, dignity and respect are things no one can take away. So sit back and enjoy. It was a sunny morning in Dallas when Jason Taylor, a calm and confident young man, arrived at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. He was flying to New York for an important business meeting. Jason's father, Robert Taylor, was a successful businessman, but Jason preferred to keep his background private. He wanted to make his own name, not rely on his father's success. Dressed casually in a black hoodie, jeans and sneakers, Jason blended in with the crowd. No one paid him much attention, which suited him just fine. But that was about to change. When Jason boarded the plane with a first-class ticket, the flight attendant, Emily Banks, greeted him coldly. "Your seat's in the back," she said, not even looking at his ticket. Jason frowned. "Actually, my seat's in first class," he said politely, showing her his boarding pass. Emily rolled her eyes. "Are you sure you can afford it?" she asked sharply, eyeing him up and down. Jason was taken aback. "Excuse me," he replied, not sure why she was being so rude. "We don't usually have people like you in first class," Emily shot back, dismissing him. "Just because you found this ticket doesn't mean you belong here." Jason's heart raced, but he remained calm. "I belong here," he said quietly, walking past her to his seat. He settled in, hoping the encounter was over. But as the plane took off, Jason felt the tension. Emily went about serving other passengers, chatting and smiling with them, but ignored him completely. He could feel the whispers and quick glances from some of the other passengers. It seemed like Emily had told them something about him. "Can I get some water?" Jason asked when she passed by. "Maybe later," she replied with a fake smile, then walked off. Jason couldn't understand what was happening. He didn't want to make a scene, but it was clear something was wrong. A fellow passenger, Mark Wilson, leaned over and said, "Don't worry about her. She has biases." Jason nodded, grateful for the support, but still confused. In 2024, he thought everyone was treated equally, yet here he was, being treated unfairly in silence. As the flight went on, Emily's rude behavior continued. She served drinks to everyone but skipped Jason. Whenever he asked for something, she ignored him or responded rudely. Halfway through the flight, Jason had had enough. He stood up and walked to the front of the plane to ask for the head of customer service. Linda Morgan, the head of customer service, arrived a few minutes later. She smiled warmly, but her face quickly grew serious when Jason explained what had been happening. "I've asked for simple things like water, and I've been ignored or treated rudely by your flight attendant," Jason explained, trying to keep his cool. Linda's face tightened. "I'm very sorry, Mr. Taylor. I'll handle this right away." Just as Jason was about to sit down, he noticed Emily's face turn pale when she overheard his name. She glanced nervously at him, then quickly looked away, muttering something about a misunderstanding. Linda, looking puzzled, assured Jason, "I'll take care of this immediately." Jason sat back down, trying to calm himself. Just then, his phone buzzed. It was a message from his father. "Son, I heard what's happening on the flight. I'm handling it." Jason's eyes widened. He hadn't told his father anything. How did he know? A few minutes later, Emily returned, her face pale and shaky. "I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor. I didn't realize," she started, but before she could finish, the pilot's voice echoed over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for any inconvenience. We've been informed of a customer service issue and are working to resolve it. Thank you for your patience." Jason glanced around, still unsure what was happening, but the mood on the plane had shifted. Emily, who had been rude before, now looked embarrassed and scared. She avoided his gaze and quickly disappeared before most passengers had even left the plane. Once Jason got off the plane in New York, he was met by two staff members from Strauss Airways, his father's airline. They led him to a private lounge where he was met by Linda and the airline's CEO. "Son," Robert Taylor said, shaking his head, "I've dealt with the situation. Emily's been removed from duty." Jason sighed. "Dad, I didn't want special treatment. I just wanted to be treated like everyone else." "I know, son," Robert replied softly. "But sometimes people need a wake-up call." He paused, looking at Jason with pride. "You've made your own way in life. No one has the right to treat you any less." Jason nodded, feeling the weight of his father's words. He realized that people like Emily would always exist, those who judged others without knowing their story. But what mattered most was how he responded. Standing up for what was right, no matter who you were, was what counted. As Jason left the airport, he couldn't help but think about Emily's reaction when she learned who he was. He hoped she'd learned something from this encounter, but he knew the lesson wasn't just for her. It was for anyone who felt they could look down on others. Jason wasn't just the son of a wealthy man. He was someone who had learned that dignity and respect were things no one could take from him. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. Have a great day.